Australian golfing champion Geoff Ogilvy is leading a charge to make golf a game for all. And as we emerge from lockdowns, the former US Open winner is doing his bit to woo players back onto the fairway. Tony Jones with the story.
As Geoff Ogilvy tapped his way around the practice putting greens at Sandringham Public, it surely felt a world away from the 18th green at New York's Wingfoot Club, where in 2006 Ogilvy won the US Open. And the origins of that victory were right here on the very public Sandringham course.
I probably played 90 of my first 100 rounds at Sandy, so it's a pretty important place for me. Always lovingly looking through the fence at Royal Melbourne and all the sandbelts around it. So yeah, it's a pretty special place for me.
Just as Greg Norman inspired a whole new generation of golfers following his 1986 British Open victory, Ogilvy's triumph also provoked renewed interest. But just as many were held back by the belief that golf is a rich man's game, played at private clubs that only the rich can afford. Ogilvy is now trying to dispel that myth.
I think there's been a bit too much exclusivity in some areas of the game, but I think in general, I think the roots and the core of the game are sound, and I think they really is a pretty open-arm policy. If you actually just go have a look and put your nose in the door at some of these public courses, you'll realise that there's no exclusivity at all. It's there for everybody to use.
There's no doubt that golf in Victoria, mainly metropolitan Melbourne, suffered badly as a result of the COVID lockdowns. But nationally, the sport has enjoyed a spike in popularity. Even with Victoria taken into account, there's been a 15% increase in rounds played this year compared to this time last year. It might be that rich man image has been lost in the rough.
You get the tradies and you get the professionals and you get the kids and the sort of the ladies groups and the men's old groups and the sort of this sort of cross-section of society that's coming, all being brought together in this one place by the game.
As for Sandringham, Ogilvy has redesigned the course to give it the feel of its more famous next-door neighbour, Royal Melbourne. But spruiking his handiwork could ignite a neighbourhood feud.
To not name drop, I played Royal Melbourne earlier in the week and then I played Sandy 2 days later, and the greens here are exactly the same.
With more kids taking up golf, it's only a matter of time before the next big thing emerges. And Ogilvy believes he or she will be a product of public and not necessarily private.
When you come down to a place like Sandy or Yarra Bend or Albert Park or Northcote or anything like that, you're going to realise that this is just everybody in the city. This is what they do for fun, and they're just coming to have a good time and no one cares what you look like.
Tony Jones, 9 News.